Every chance I got, if I met anyone who worked at Rolling Stone, I was like in their face being like, hey, like, oh, I want to work there one day. And so I actually got it by just meeting this one girl who came to King's for a class that we had, and she worked at Rolling Stone, and I went up to her afterwards. I was wearing a Nirvana shirt, and she was like, hey, like, I love your shirt. And I'm like, thanks, I really want to intern at Rolling Stone. And she was like, totally, like, let me get you in contact with the right people. And then they had an intern fall through on one semester, and so then they just plopped me in. I kind of just got to, like, on my downtime, write whatever I wanted. So if I had an idea, I would pitch different story ideas to pretty much every section. You just got to get yourself in there. So you like show up, and then if it's like a lull in the conversation, you're like, I have an idea. I did one on how Britney Spears predicted the future. She was talking about like falling in love over the phone, and it was in the middle of the pandemic, and I was like, wait a minute, this song is like horrible, but she literally predicted that we'd have to like be doing this all the time. You go to a school where journalism is a major, and that's not as common as people think it is. Well, at the time I was editor-in-chief of Empire State Tribune, so it's like you already are a junior and you're already able to be the editor-in-chief of your newspaper, and like at big schools you don't get that option. Also, we had some alum who worked at Rolling Stone, so that was also really helpful. It's worth it to get turned down than to not ask at all. Like KJ Appa came in once, and I was like, have you heard of Dashboard Confessionals? They're this band that I used to like love when I was in high school. They let me interview, like do the whole interview by myself, like no one else was with me, and I got to write up all the questions and then write up the piece afterwards. Like I just called them from my personal phone and like just talked with them. This was in the middle of the pandemic. When it came down to it, they were like, we can't hire anyone new right now. I really missed home. Like being in New York was really, really awesome, but you know, being so far away from home is so hard. And so when I came back, I actually got a job here working for a tribal government. So I get to interview elders and write these untold stories about Southeast Alaska. I'm Tlingit, so I am indigenous here. So it's nice to be able to like use the skills that I learned at Rolling Stone to interview people. If it wasn't for like my team writing down these stories and documenting these stories, they just wouldn't ever be remembered. And so that's something that I was just so passionate about. And you know, this is definitely worth it. And it's definitely a good first job. So I was very excited. But I think overall I want to be at Rolling Stone one day. We'll see.